and I'm skipping to the last one. Took a little bit of time, but not too bad.
That was the last one, I believe. Yep. Okay, now this isn't super even. As you noticed, I wasn't paying much, I wasn't real particular. I'm going to wash this off a little bit later. But, let me dry this off. Try to get some of it off. You'll see it's kind of chalky. Pretty big cuts. Still got pretty good polish on the edge, but that's nice and chalky. Facets aren't too bad. Comes to the point like it's supposed to. So now we're going to back off a little bit to a finer grit. And the kit comes with 1200. You know, in time you may want to get like a 600 and a whatever. Here's what I use. I have a 220, which I don't use very often. I do like the 325. I use that quite a bit on Ruby. 600's pretty popular. 1200, 3000, 8000, so on. Since your kit comes with 1200, straight from your rough lap to your... I'm going to have some adjusting to do here. Now, since I don't know how good that... I'm going to go ahead and be sure this is clean. I don't want to drag any of that heavy diamond onto my 1200 lap. But I'm going to have some adjustments because that was thick. So, let's just let you see this adjustment again. Now I'm going to start dialing it in. I'm on 28 this time. So I'll get back to 28 when we're all done here.
Notice I placed a DOP guide lock such
in.
that I can adjust it either way. It's not all the way on or all the way off.
Quite a ways. There you go. That's just barely touching. I think I'm going to try that. Some of my facets might not actually hit because I didn't pay much attention to it. I'm going to try this. I'm going to go ahead and add a shim. So I'll tighten that down. I was on 28. Let's get back to 28. That's where I pull this back into place. So there you go. You see it's back in there. I can remove this. So that was a height adjustment. Might as well replace my spring and my spring retainer. You don't really have to use this. I just like using it. Okay. There we go. Now I do have to remove quite a bit of material with this next one because those scratches that were left on there were pretty deep. So I'm really redoing each of these facets.
I'm not so sure I should use the term scratches. It's just the
might add time, might not.
Grit leaves deeper grooves in the material.
But I'm going to go all the way around, and this one should really draw her into where it should be. Just falls right off there. Just right. Always checking to be sure everything looks right. As long as you're using that hard stop, you shouldn't overcut. Which the hard stop is when that touches. You should be pretty close. I mean, you have to keep an eye on what you're doing. may make this look a little easier than it's going to be for most of you the first time. That was already done. Okay. Let's put a little water on here.
Notice I dragged the stone off the lap, and there should be no drop. That just means your hard stop is touching.
Still chalky, but not quite as chalky. Oops. Most of the big scratches are gone, if there is any. Still shiny on my girdle. Now let's get into the 3000. Switch laps. How do we switch laps? I'm on the glass. 1200. Let's put it away. 3000. Let's get it out. I will clean that off. Once again, be sure I'm not transferring any of the heavier grit to okay. See, that barely touches on there. Now we need to add a shim. That's where your 3000s comes in handy. Let's just add that on there. The 3000 grit will actually remove more material, which is good, and you need to keep working through all those scratches so you do end up with a polish.
I probably should have said working through rougher surfaces.
Once again, times 16. What I'm doing here, I'm going to do a total of 16 times. You can always choose to skip a step. And I don't know if you can see that, but see how it jumped from dull to starting to get a little polish on it? Now here is still a pre-polish. However, you don't want much scratches at this point. Don't quibble over it. Okay, that's good. This 3000 was just pre-charged. I didn't do anything special to it. It's the one I've been using. Really not taking that much time. Heck, I'm only spending, 15 seconds, it looks like. Almost there. I spend about 15 seconds on each one. Maybe 20, whatever. Not a ton. Of course, it's times 16, so time's adding up kind of fast. Still having fun. Woohoo!
Well, like before, I went ahead and removed some of them repetitious facets.